Hi there, we need first of all a sheet of paper A4 which is 8 inches by 12 inches. You then need 2 pieces of fabric which are the same size as your A4 sheet of paper. In this case I've used 2 contrasting pieces with colour coordination. Now put those to one side and let's concentrate on the paper. You're going to fold it. You take the bottom right hand corner and make the point touch the top edge. Fold it down neatly and you've got to have it folded right to the point of the bottom left corner. Then you take the second corner, the top left corner, and fold it across so that it forms like an ice cream cone. So you're going to flatten it down. It's going to go from the right hand side right down to the bottom point. I'm sorry you can't see that on this screen. My camera was slightly out of vision. Then you fold this last piece over, but you need to have a gap, an equal gap on each side. So you want an equal amount on each side with that fold. And this is basically showing you how it's going to end up. Your scissors will fit into those pockets, and this is the template. So basically it'll take a big pair in the top, slightly smaller pair in the middle, and a small pair at the bottom. So now you've got the idea of what it's going to be doing. You unfold the paper and then take your fabric. Now your fabric needs some interfacing on it. I used medium interfacing and I interfaced both pieces of fabric, but you could probably get away with just interfacing one. Now, as well as the paper where you've done the folds, you will also need some lace, preferably a thin lace, but this is the only lace I have that's colour coordinated, so I'm going to use that. It's a roll of lace and a little piece of ribbon. The ribbon is going to be used to hang the scissors against the wall, so it has to be quite a strong ribbon. I've actually used a piece of braided ribbon that I got wrapped around a box that I was given as a gift. The braided ribbon needs to be about 5 inches or 13 centimeters long. And taking that ribbon, you need to overlap it in the corner, in the top right hand corner, and put a little pin through it to keep it in place. And then you lay your other piece of fabric over the top. And you're going to sew around this along the bottom, up the side, along the top, down, and you're going to leave a little gap at the bottom. And once you've sewn round, you need to snip just up to the edge of the stitching on either side of the opening, and then trim round close to the edge of your stitching all the way round. Don't forget to clip the corners so it's easier to get them turned round. Then you turn it inside out, or you turn it outside in, whatever you care to call it. This is where I had a bit of difficulty with having lots of interfacing on, and I probably had too small a hole, but I finally got it through, and I used my hemostats to push out the corners. Once you've got all the corners sorted, a couple there need to be done, then give your piece of fabric a good press. Now then, I haven't stitched the seam opening, the little opening there, because it will get sewn together once you've got it assembled. Here I'm deciding which way I want it to be folded, because it's going to be like that with an ice cream cone way, and it'll show you the pattern. If I turn it the other way, I'm going to have a lot of the smaller pattern there. Excuse the cat's tail. And I think I've decided that I prefer the first way rather than that way. So I will undo it, and we're going to use the flower section like that. This is where the lace comes in. So you get your lace and this is what you're going to put trim around the outside edge. The lace will only be going down 2 edges, along the top and up the side, or up the side and along the top. And so you basically need to cut enough lace with a little bit of extra, about 1 inch or 2, to cover that area. You set it so the featured part of the lace is on the outside, just sticking out a little bit. As I said, I would have really should have had a narrower lace, but this is quite wide and it was all I had. So fold it over at one end and pin it along the edge of the top and the side. When you come to the corner, you need to bend your lace around so that you've got a little bit of a curve on it, and that's going to be stitched over eventually. And once that's done, you top stitch along the top and down the side. Now you're going to fold it over like we did on the paper. It's going to go from I've got some spare thread here, sorry. I'm going to go across to the edge of the fabric and I shall pin it down just so that it doesn't flap back. And then I'll take that corner and fold it across again, trying to get as good a point as you can in the bottom left hand corner. It's not very easy. And then fold it over again and just try and make sure all the edges are as close as possible. Don't forget that this top flap has to have an equal gap on the left and the right on either side of it. So that's roughly what it's going to look like. Then press it, give it a good press. So here it is, nicely pressed, and then what you're going to do is you're going to stitch along that edge, but make sure this is nicely evenly spaced out. You're going to go along that edge with a stitch, you're going to sew down there, go across and then up the top there. I've decided to pick out the turquoise in the pattern fabric, and I'm top stitching with turquoise, and I'm using a very decorative stitch where it's the three stitch stretch stitch that I'm using. You may notice that on the left I've gone slightly off, so what I do later on, I don't know if I record it, is that I unpick that little section and I redid it. And tie off the ends on both sides. And there you go. You have a lovely little decoration for hang on your wall. And there are my 3 pairs of scissors. There you go. A hanger with 3 pairs of scissors. I'm leaving mine without a button, but you could add a little button to the bottom just for decoration if you want to. I did look at the little flower button or another little one with a sunshine and anything else, but I decided not to. You could also hang a tassel from the bottom if you wanted to, but I chose, after trying all sorts of different buttons, I thought, no, I'm not going to have one at all.